somewhere in your life, you are making excuses for yourself and you're protecting yourself from failing, from suffering, from feeling pain. But my guess is that you are also suffering because you're dependent on some safety net or some perceived security that either a job, a person, a relationship is something is providing you. And it's holding you back. The comfort of having a safety net prevents so many people from reaching their potential. In my own life, I have noticed myself not taking risks and just spinning my wheels, literally not making progress because I don't have to, because I hadn't hit a rock bottom, because it wasn't do or die. The reality is that people rarely change until shit hits the fan, until there is a rock bottom, until it's like, I cannot continue going on like this because either I'm going to destroy myself, my life, I'm going to destroy a relationship, I'm going to destroy my finances, I'm not going to have a place to live, I'm going to destroy my health. Until people reach that point, it's way too easy in the world that we live in to just fucking chill and not do anything. And I bet that is so many people watching this video. It's like, shit is just not bad enough for me to do anything about it. Why would I change it? It's like, yeah, it's not what I would choose. If I could design my life the way I really wanted, it wouldn't fucking look like this, that's for sure. But this is what I've got and it works, right? I'm okay. I have enough. Like, I have a roof over my head, I got food, I got enough money to pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. I have at least some warm body lying next to me, even though it's not really the one that I want. And even though it kind of treats me like shit sometimes, we don't really connect. Like, we don't have much in common. We're not intimate, but, you know, they pay half the rent and there's someone that I can complain about my day to when I get home. And everybody says that they want things to change so much. And I get it. And I have been there and I have wanted so badly, like felt like I needed things to change. But really, I didn't need that. I needed them to change so that I could get out of the emotional state that I was in. But practically, I didn't need them to change. And I don't know, maybe not everyone is this way. I know that everybody has a different operating system and everybody has different things that motivate them. And I know that for me, I can endure an obscene amount of emotional distress and pain and suffering. And that is not enough to get me to take action, like on almost anything. Like, I need there to be very real physical consequences and physical threats or practical, I don't know, circumstantial things that are going to change my life, like the threat of my home being taken away or not having money. I guess I would say for me that's probably the driving force is that, and I guess it depends on what you're trying to change, right? It depends on what you're trying to change. If you're wanting to change a career or job that you have and you're staying in the one that you have because it pays well, but you're like dying inside. For me, I knew that I can keep doing what I'm doing and it works, but it's not what I really want. But I wanted to do something else, right? I wanted to start something else. I wanted to have a podcast. I wanted to have a YouTube channel. I wanted to create a digital product. And it wasn't until I could do this year after year after year. I can do the same job, even though I know it's not what I want to do, but it's working. It had to get to a point where I started experiencing physical pain and consequences of the job I was doing that I didn't even want to be doing, that wasn't even paying me that well, like not nearly as much money as I want to make and as I know I could make going out and doing my own thing and taking the risk. So I had to get to the point where I'm like, what am I doing? And I had to decide in my mind, this is the last year I'm doing this, right? This is the last year. You cannot have a way out. You can't have a backup. You can't have a safety net. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying for me, the type of person that I am, there can't be a backup. There can't be a safety net. There can't be, I can just go back and do what I was doing before. This is the last year I'm doing this. You have to like burn the boats, as they say. And I think that comes from commanders. Commanders burned the boat so that soldiers had no choice but to fight and no choice but to win. There's no escape. There's no retreat. You're here. You're fighting. You better win or that's it. There's no way to run away. You're not going to escape it. And that's the point, is that most people can half commit to their dreams because they can retreat if things get hard. If you have a financial cushion, if you have a supportive partner that maybe provides for you, or a job that kind of works, like I mentioned, you are not desperate to make your business work, or your side hustle, your passion project, whatever it is that you're wanting to grow or that you're afraid to even embark on. Where's the incentive to go all in on that? If you have a cushion. I hear from so many women who have husbands that provide and they stay at home and they have these businesses that they want to start, and they do, I do like long distance energy healing, and I do these types of readings, and I do this type of coaching, or I sell this product, and they're not really putting themselves out there. Like, they're not taking action like their life depends on it. They're not taking action like this needs to support them. You need to treat it as if it was going to be the sole source of income and sole source of financial support for you and your family. So many of these women, their business is stagnant. They are not getting clients. Nothing is happening. And they just keep doing all these bullshit tasks that don't move the needle. They're creating a new website. You don't even need a website. They're designing their business cards. They're constantly going and changing graphics in their funnel. They're modifying the font on their email signature. This is not going to make you money. It's not going to grow your business. This shit doesn't matter. You need to decide that you're serious about this being a business and that it is legitimate. Because if the business isn't working, it is not because of your website. It's not because of your logo. It's not because of your branding. Those things are all beautiful and lovely, and it can feel really good as you progress to change those things and to like evolve in different iterations of your business. But that's not why people choose whether or not to work with you or to buy from you. All it does is make you feel productive, right? It makes you feel productive. Sit there and spend hours working on the shit. That's not what business owners do. I'm not saying they don't work on those things, but that is what a hobbyist does. That's the difference. A business owner is focused on making money. So you need to go all in. You need to decide that this is a real business. If this was your only income, how would you be treating it? Even if you haven't started it yet, even if you haven't created something yet, if it was your only income, how would you be treating it? How would you be going after it? How much time would you be spending on it? How seriously would you take it? How many ways would you be like trying to advertise it or market it or get it in front of people? You also need to set an income goal, and it can change in time, but set one. And don't be vague about it. Like, set an ideal income goal, a realistic one, and something that it needs to be realistic. Yes, you need to believe it's possible. And it also needs to be enough that it could support you, that it could replace the income that you have now, at least. You need to get super clear on what you are offering. What is your value? What are you providing? How are you going to sell the thing that you're selling? Who are you selling it to? How often are you going to sell it? And then you need to commit to taking action every day, doing things that actually move the needle. If that means that you need to post content on social media, then that's what you need to do. It depends on what this thing is that you're after. What's the idea? What's the business? Maybe you need to be reaching out to clients, to potential clients. Maybe you need to be talking about yourself to people that you know, asking them for referrals. But every day you need to be advertising your business to someone somehow. And you need to become a robot. You have to get out of your own head completely. And I'll use myself as an example for this. So I know that I talk about my YouTube channel and starting the channel. I need a drink of water. But I knew that I wanted to start the channel, right? I wanted to start a podcast. I wanted to start a channel. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a digital product. I wanted to do something. And I was always spinning my wheels. And I was always had fun creating logos and doing little branding stuff and creating the little thumbnail logo for my podcast on Spotify and creating a banner for my YouTube channel that was a private channel at that time with no videos, but always like working on all these things that didn't actually do anything and making lists of all the things that I would talk about. And I thought that I was helping myself by I would watch a lot of videos of people talking about how to start a channel, what you need to do, all that like preparation stuff. And I swear all that stuff does is get in your head and overwhelm you and paralyze you. Like for me, at least, it paralyzed me because it's too much. It's like, because even though they're telling you step by step what to do, you're watching that one video, let's say, and you're seeing all the steps. You can't even do that to yourself because it's too overwhelming. I'm sure this applies to so many different endeavors. You just need to know what is the first step. What's the next right thing, right? What is the next thing that I need to do? That's why I hired a coach, okay? And thank fucking God, because he's just like, don't worry about it. Literally worry about nothing but creating videos. You're just going to create content. I mean, you're going to follow my guidance as far as how to find, good titles and topics and doing that kind of research. But then you're just going to film yourself and you're just going to get used to making content. Just do it, post the video, do it, post the video. And there was a deadline. Like, you're doing this many videos in this period of time. Boom, boom, boom. I don't care if you do one every 2 days or one every 3 days or whatever it is. I don't care what the cadence is, but you will have this many videos done by this date. I needed that. Someone to just say, like, for me not to be in charge. A lot of people like to go to workout classes or go to F45 or whatever, rather than going and doing a workout on their own. And a lot of times it's people who have a ton of responsibilities already in their life that like that kind of stuff because they want to shut their brain off and just be told what to do. And it's so much easier. Otherwise they're like, I have to figure this out. I don't know what to do. And they like lose motivation. They don't know if they're doing the right thing. And the same thing happens with all of our passion pursuits. And the same thing, that's what was happening to me with YouTube. So, or with a podcast, YouTube, whatever it was that I was thinking about doing or wanting to do. And so working with a coach, I can turn my brain off. All I have to do is do the video. My mind wants to go into, but what about the future? Well, what about this? What about how am I going to make money? But what are we going to do then? And then it's like, just dude, like chill the fuck out. Just film a video, post it, film a video, post it, film a video, post it. And then the channel's just growing more quickly than I ever could have expected. That's all I had to do was get the fuck out of my own way and just start doing it. So just like be a robot, turn your brain off and do what you know needs to be done. And if you can be your own coach, do it. And a good way to do it is to make the list of the things that need to be done and then just fucking go down the list. But I don't know, for me, I don't have the self-discipline to be able to do it. I just like get way ahead of myself and get stressed out, start to overthink it and like, well, but should I be going this slow? I know I just did this step and when should I do the next step? If I work with a coach, they can just tell me exactly, okay, we're doing this for this long. Now it's time to go do this now. And I don't trust myself to know, okay, when's the time to move to this step or this step or this step. So for me, working with a coach is the best for like anything in life. Which by the way, I do one-on-one coaching. If you guys want to book a call, the link is in the description. But when I committed in October to YouTube, I just stopped procrastinating and I just did the damn work. If you let your brain get in the way, you will always find reasons to stop. Now, the last thing that I want to say about it is that there is a very important secret ingredient that is necessary, and that is belief. And I talk about it all the time, but you can do all the steps if you do not believe that it's possible for you. And if you have resistance, and if you have doubt, that will impact your success at some point. You may be able to get away with it. You may succeed and you may blast off and make a bunch of money, and then you'll like lose it. You'll lose it. You won't sustain it. Because you didn't actually believe that you were worthy and you didn't believe that you deserved it or whatever the belief is. There's some belief in there. There's a belief that, people like me don't make a lot of money or just a belief that the only real way to make money is to have a job. It's wishful thinking. It's fantasy to think that you can live a life of your dreams and be independent and make money working from your computer, doing something that you love. If you have these beliefs, it's going to influence your future. And you'll be the one doing it. You'll sabotage yourself. You will sabotage your own success because your subconscious beliefs always win. They always win. And in order to fix these, it's actually not that complicated to reprogram subconscious beliefs, but it's difficult because they're just so insidious. But you start noticing the thoughts that come up when you take action and you ask yourself, Would somebody who makes $10,000 a month think like this? Would somebody who makes however much money doing blah, blah, blah thing, would they think like this? What kind of beliefs would they have? How do they look at money? What's their relationship with money? What's their relationship with success? How do they think about themselves? Like, what do they believe is possible for themselves? And then you just start to change those thoughts. You start to reprogram. You choose different thoughts and you start to repeat them in your mind. You guys, please do not let comfort kill your ambition. Like, you deserve to have a life that's beyond just complacency. And whatever it is that you're wanting to create, treat it like a business. And if someone was paying you $10,000 to work on your business, would you be wasting your time changing the font of your email signature? What would you actually be doing? What are the tasks that move the needle and make money? And if someone's paying you, you need to deliver, right? There need to be results. And set hours for yourself if you need to. If you feel like you don't have enough discipline and so you just kind of work on it when you feel like it, set hours, show up. It can be so hard when once you're done with school and you don't have a job that has set hours that you have to show up for, it can be really hard to structure your life in a way where there is a schedule and you're following, I'm doing this at this time, this at this time, this at this time, because there's just a lot of flexibility, right? You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You can move things around, but try to at least say, even if you wake up one day and you decide the day of, but every day you're saying, I'm going to find a window of 2 to 4 hours or however long you need to work on it. At one window, not like I'm going to work on it for 30 minutes here and then I might have 20 minutes here and then I might have an hour and a half later tonight. It's like, no, just find a window that you're able to work on it and commit to it every single day. Because if you're only working on it when you're in the mood, like, you don't really have a business. You have a hobby, right? That's like what hobbies are. You don't do hobbies when you don't feel like it. The last thing is that, and I know I've already talked about risk and overcoming fear, but you have to get comfortable with that feeling of uncertainty about how it's going to turn out or what's going to happen, because that's going to get in the way of the success, because that is doubt. Doubt is what fuels that. So if you're afraid of making an investment in yourself, if you're afraid of hiring a coach to help you, if you're afraid of launching a product, those fears are because you don't fully believe in yourself, because you're so afraid of your own potential and success, because you know that if you hire a coach and you do what they say and they have gotten results doing what they have done with other clients, with themselves, and you've seen their results, that's why you're hiring them. You know that if you hire them and do what they say, you're going to get results. And maybe that's a fear that you have. Maybe that's a subconscious belief that you need to address. What will it mean? What will it mean for me to have the success that I desire, that I say that I want? Maybe I'm afraid of the way that my life will change. Maybe I'm afraid of new responsibilities that will come with that. But if you're afraid and you don't have full confidence now, I mean, just know that you don't get confidence before you take action. You get it from taking action. So you have all these fears, but I promise you, it's like once you make the investment, once you hire the coach, once you launch the product, once you put it out there, you'll start to develop the confidence and the self-belief that says, oh yeah, I deserve success. And so then once it starts showing up, you'll be able to receive it. I've said it once, I've said it twice. I don't know how many times I've said it before, but you don't need another book. You don't need another podcast. You don't need another course. You just got to take action. And if you haven't hit a rock bottom yet, and if you haven't felt enough suffering and enough urgency to make a change, my advice is to orchestrate that for yourself. Like, create the circumstances under which you would take massive action and do what needs to be done. Because if that doesn't, you don't want to just sit around and wait for rock bottom to hit. You don't know if it's coming or when it's coming, because it can be really hard. It can be really hard to grow and to evolve and to take risks from a place of comfort. Discomfort is what fuels a person to change and to take a risk and to put themselves out there and to face fears, because It's only when you've gotten to a place of such discomfort or such suffering that you're willing. You're willing because you're weighing it's like you're weighing the pros and cons. You're doing the cost benefit analysis and you're saying, well, yeah, taking this risk is really fucking scary and I could fail, but is it worse than how I feel now? You can check off all the steps on the list, but if you doubt yourself, or if you're doing it out of obligation, or if you're doing it because you think it's what you should be doing, or if you're doing it because you saw someone else doing it and they succeeded, and if you're doing it because somebody says this is the only way to make money, this is the best way to make money, this is the new way to make money, this is the way to live the life of your dreams, like if it's just this enticing lifestyle that you're after, it's going to fail. It's not going to work. You will end up sabotaging yourself because it isn't what you truly want. It's not because you're a failure. It's just because you believed something that's out of alignment with the success that you want. So what is the thing? What is the thing that you dream of doing? What's the thing that you want to go all in on? And what does it look like? What does it look like for someone to go all in on whatever that thing is for you? Because it's different. If it's not, you might not be creating a YouTube channel. Like you might be opening a bakery, or you might be selling candles, or you might be offering coaching, or you might be starting a like, I don't know, home renovation, side hustle business, or whatever it is. What does it look like for a person doing that thing that you dream of doing? What would going all in look like for them? What would it look like? What are the actions that you'd be taking if this was your sole source of income and this had to support you and your family? What would you be doing every day? Like, how seriously would you be taking it? And if you're serious about this, then you need to start doing those things. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. First link in my description is to join my email list. I talk about stuff like this all the time. You can book a call with me if you so choose. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.